Hey, what up? My name is Drix, and this is my board. Play in hard rock band in Toronto called the Live Amps. So just trying to get some hard rock sounds. As you can see, I've just started to rewire a few things. I made a mess of my girlfriend's place. I'm just glad that she loves me. Anyway, I've split up the board into two sections. Uh, the main one being sort of the dirt, which is the dirt and gain stage, EQ, and modulation right afterwards. And there's Jelly the cat. But it took me a while to get to this selection of dirt pedals, especially. Modulation has pretty much stayed the same for the past year. So I've been swapping in and out of stuff for probably about a year to find sort of what works for me, and this works. So first in the chain is the Zvex Fuzz Factory into the Chromatic tuner. Only reason the Zvex is up front is so that I can take control of the oscillation or take advantage of that, because I believe there's a buffer in the TU2. From the tuner, I go to the OCD, Great Overdrive. From the Overdrive to the OC3 to fatten up the sound. Some really great tones out of this guy here, and I had it collecting dust on the cupboard until I actually found out how crazy and how good this pedal is. And after that is the Rat, I went through my fair share of dirt pedals to find out that this is the best that works for me. From there, I believe I EQ. That's only to give myself a little bit more mids and bass from my guitar. And then I boost it with the EP, which is great. After that is the organizer from Earthquaker Devices. I was debating whether getting a POG, but this just kind of screamed at me. After the organizer, into the Mod Factory. I got the Mod Factory to replace a small stone, basically to save space on the board, but also there was a few effects on this that I wanted to try. I don't want to get too crazy on it, but maybe combine the chorus with the OC3. I'll try to post some samples of that to see how that sounds, but mainly use this as a phaser, when not a phaser, a stutter, or a trem. That's it. From that, I believe I go into the Super Shifter, the PS5, and this thing is absolutely a lot of fun. I always wanted to get the Digitech for phase shifting, or pitch shifting, sorry, but this has done its job. I get pretty crazy with this and the toggle on the guitar, but pretty much have this dimed all the way and it's just screaming. You can do some dive bombs with this too, which is pretty cool. Yeah, but pretty cool pedal. After that, we go into, which I just reordered, into the digital delay, DD3. Can't go wrong with this guy. I've had that forever, and pretty much probably the only pedal other than the dirt boxes that I know exactly how it'll behave, because I spent way too much time on this. This is a lot of fun. Slapbacks and long delays are great. And then into the Cathedral, which I admittedly, it's way too many knobs for me to really know what's going on. But and when I say that, it's just I haven't found sort of what I use this for other than some washes and some cool reverse effects. I really dug a lot of people's demos on the reverse on this. So I had to get it, and I had to give it a shot myself. So these two originally were swapped around, where I had the reverb before the delay. I know that wasn't conventional, but I still wanted to see how that sounded, but it sounded good. Now I have the delay before the reverb, just so I can get some really washed out trails. And yeah, into the Ditto, which was released I think just last year. But I've been finding that everybody on YouTube has it on their boards. It's a great, for me, a great sort of practice Great for practice and great for noise making. Trip out the guys at during band rehearsal when I switch into, I sample myself and then do a lead on top. They just they dig that a lot, and also throws them off, which is great. But yeah, that's the board so far. I'm gonna put up some samples soon. I don't have a good sort of mic rig, but yeah, I've been working on this for about a year, and sort of the great finds I found were definitely Dirtbox anyway is the Rat. Purely uses for distortion and the fuzz tone. Still finding my way around the Fuzz Factory, still finding my way around the Cathedral, and still finding my way around this Mod Factory as well. But everything else has been pretty much straightforward and a staple. But yeah, thanks guys. It's my first sort of video. Only reason I'm posting this is because I really dig what's going on YouTube and everybody posting their boards and how cool they are. Alright, thanks guys. Bye. So I was gonna pack up, but there was also, forgot to mention, use the volume for swells, and then a little mini board on those days where I couldn't be hassled to bring around this guy. But this guy actually has been collapsed from 18, 16 pedals just to the essentials, or at least what I think are essentials for myself. But yeah, this is something that is fun to use as well. This is a Polytune 78 Badass Distortion MXR. Wasn't a Big Muff fan at the beginning, but actually after trying it, it's really fucking cool. Another DD3 which is on loan from a buddy, but this is fucking sweet. And yeah, pretty straightforward practice rig, distortion, fuzz, delay, and get your guitar in tune. Also playing around with this guy here, which is the Soul Food, and that'll swap in between the MXR as an overdrive sound. Alright, cool.